Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about a tech story that's coming from a place you might not expect at all, the Caribbean. And no, we're not talking about luxury resorts. We're talking about how a small island nation is being forced to build a really powerful AI ecosystem basically out of necessity. Okay, so when I say Antigua and Barbuda, what pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably pristine beaches, that incredible turquoise water, the ultimate vacation spot. And yeah, it's a global paradise for a very good reason. But here's the thing, if you look past the postcard pictures, something else is happening. A totally different kind of revolution is starting to bubble up. And this isn't Silicon Valley with beanbag chairs and crazy venture capital money. This is what you'd call a mission-oriented ecosystem. It's all about building AI to solve urgent real-world problems. So you've got to be asking, why there, of all places? Well, to really get why this AI boom is happening, you have to understand the unique pressures these islands are under. For Antigua and Barbuda, AI isn't some cool new toy. It's literally a survival strategy. It all comes down to this one word, polycrisis. It sounds complicated, but it's basically a perfect storm of overlapping challenges that are hitting small island developing states all at once. We're talking about extreme vulnerability to climate change, an economy that depends way too much on just one thing, and, of course, a constant brain drain, where the best and brightest often leave to find opportunities somewhere else. In this chart, man, it just lays it all out. When tourism makes up that big of a slice of your economy, something like the COVID-19 pandemic isn't just a setback, it's a brutal wake-up call. It totally exposed the massive risk of having all your eggs in one basket and really lit a fire under the push for a more digital, more resilient economy. This quote from Dr. Richards Kennedy, it really gets to the core of the motivation here. She talks about a data poverty trap. Think about it. An AI model trained on data from the US or Europe is never going to understand the nuances of a Caribbean school exam or its specific environmental crises. The message is crystal clear. You have to build your own solutions. You just have to. Okay, so you're facing these huge challenges. Where do you even begin to build a whole AI ecosystem from scratch? Well, it turns out Antigua and Barbuda is using a really deliberate three-pillar strategy. It's all built around this classic model for innovation called the triple helix. The idea is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You get the government, the universities, and private companies all working together, all spinning in the same direction to create something way bigger than any one of them could build alone. And this isn't just theory, right? Here's how it's actually playing out on the ground. First, the government steps up and creates the Science and Innovation Park, giving these projects a physical home. Second, the University of the West Indies campus is there to train up the next generation of local tech talent. And third, you have industry partners like Antigua Computer Technology, providing the essential computing power and infrastructure. It's the whole package: space, talent, and power. Those are the three pillars. All right, so we've got the foundation in place. And this is where the story gets really, really cool. Because with that foundation, a whole new wave of local startups is popping up. And they're using AI to go head-to-head with some of the island's biggest problems. So check out Project Jaguar, founded by these two guys, Trevon Solomon and Kenise James. A generic AI tutor from somewhere else might just spit out an answer, but it's not going to get the specific context of their local exams. Jaguar AI is completely different. It's been fine-tuned on those exact Caribbean curriculums. And it acts more like a Socratic tutor, which means instead of giving the answer, it asks the right questions to guide students to figure it out themselves. That is a much more powerful way to learn. It's like educational independence. And get this isn't just some side hustle or a passion project. This is a real, validated business. Project Jaguar actually took home a $10,000 prize in a big business model competition. That's proof that there's a serious market for these kinds of hyperlocal AI solutions. Okay, so we've talked education. Let's pivot to the environment for a second. Since about 2011, the entire Caribbean has been getting slammed by these massive tides of sargassum seaweed. It literally chokes the beaches, it's terrible for marine life, and it's a huge, huge threat to the tourism industry that everything depends on. So what do? Well, you fight it with AI. This is where a startup called Natus comes in. Instead of just cleaning up the mess after it arrives, Natus uses machine learning to predict exactly when and where it's gonna land. Its AI model pulls in all this data from satellites and ocean buoys, looking at currents, wind, everything, to create a super local forecast. And just like that, an environmental disaster gets turned into a predictable, manageable resource. And right here, This is the magic. This is what a real tech ecosystem looks like in action. The data that comes out of one AI startup becomes the crucial starting point for a totally different kind of company. It's amazing. Just check out this supply chain. It is genius. Step 1, Natus makes its AI prediction. Step 2, a biotech startup called Deadly Yellow uses that exact data to know precisely where to go to harvest the seaweed while it's still fresh. And then, step 3, they take that seaweed and turn it into brand new, innovative stuff like sustainable textiles. You see that? It is a perfect, self-contained loop of AI-driven innovation. So you've got all this incredible momentum, all these amazing things happening. But the nation's AI ecosystem has really reached a critical fork in the road. The path forward is not a guarantee, and honestly, the stakes could not be higher. When you look toward 2030, there are really two very different futures ahead. In the best-case scenario, Antigua and Barbuda becomes a global resilience hub, a world leader in creating AI specifically for small island nations. But the other path, well, that's the classic brain drain trap. That's where the talented founders have to leave the country just to find funding, and the nation gets stuck being a consumer of technology from other places instead of building its own future. You know, what's happening in Antigua and Barbuda isn't just some local story. It makes us ask a much bigger question. Could this mission-oriented model, this innovation that's born out of pure necessity, could that be the new blueprint for how emerging economies can leapfrog the traditional paths of development? It's a powerful thought. And hey, just a quick heads up before we go. This information was put together using both manual and AI-powered research, so we definitely encourage you to check out the details and verify everything for yourself. Thanks for tuning in.